Welcome back to Project Destination Destiny. Destiny, the name of this extra long wheelbase stealth black Sprinter van, busy converting. I thought I'd just talk you through some of the aux beam features that I've done in this van. You'll notice that there's from 5-inch spots on either side of the van. They're 110 watts together. At the back here, I have a 22-inch 180 watt aux beam. Throws so far if you ever need to see it at night. And then at the front I've got two, and I'll explain to you how they work. The one right at the top over there that you can see mounted on top across the Unistrut on top of some aluminium square box tubing. That is a 52-inch 450 watt beam from aux beam. I'm not sponsored by aux beam, but I think they make a fantastic product, although I have had some support issues which I'll explain now. The other beam that I was talking about is this one here on the front. It's a 22-inch, also 22-inch, but this one has two colors, white and yellow. Yellow specifically for fog, it can cut through fog, and also has 6 modes. You can have it on fixed, you can have it strobing, you can have it flashing, you can have it a variety of different modes, and I'll explain to you how that's controlled. I had to modify and manufacture and fabricate a bracket using some aluminium L brackets over here, and this little bolt here was a right real headache to try and get support from. They sent the wrong one. It was very small, didn't even touch the threads that are inside there. Of course, these are manufactured in China, although they're marketed out of America. So emails back and forth, photographs back and forth to America, and with the time zone difference, it was a right real headache. Eventually after many weeks, So here you'll notice on the 906, what I've done is I've mounted up on the dash some rocker switches on a small little console off Amazon. The actual strobe one on the front comes with its own dedicated on-off, which is mounted next to it. And then I've got these controls duplicated right to the back of the van, hanging over there. You can see you can switch these lights on from there as well. And what I've done is I've mounted all the relays underneath the seat here, and you can see that in this accompanying photograph. So because each relay only draws 150, maybe 200 milliamps, it's just a 7-core control cable, like a trailer cable used for trailers, coming up to this rocker switch on a 2-amp fuse. And so each of these rocker switches basically feeds into a coil, and that controls the top beam, which is the 52-inch 450 watt bar. The back one is 180 watt. The two sides, little 5-inch spots, they are 110 watts together, and that strobe one on the front, which is 120 watt. Now you might wonder, well, how does that actually work in actual fact, in practice? Maybe this explains to you a little bit here. You'll notice that the coil on the relays is all that's needed for it to energize a heavier load. So I've just drawn this roughly to explain to you how it's live and neutral is sitting underneath the seat that I'm sitting on now, the driver's seat. All these relays are positioned as you've seen in the photograph. The lives are independently coming across to this bank of rocker switches over here. And so each one of these rocker switches switches on each independent beam. Now, of course, you don't want it to stay on, otherwise it'll just drain the battery, unless you're driving, of course. So of course I can always backfeed this through from my lithium ion setup that I'll have at the back of the van anyway. So, but because each of these only draws milliamps, it's energizing and activating this coil, this relay underneath me, and that in turn is activating a much heavier load for each independent light. So of course the 450 watt, the big 52 inch on top here, is not even drawing half an amp, and likewise for all the others, 180 watts for the back 22 inch. The two little 5-inch side ones, they're 110 watts both together. So this is how it's working, that these rocker switches basically activate and pull on each and every relay by itself. These separate circuits basically for each lamp are individually fused by aux beam themselves. So they come from their manufacturers. Now you might wonder, I mentioned earlier on that I had some issues with aux beam, and that had to do with this this bracket I made and manufactured. So I hope you enjoyed that. These beams are amazing, and they are incredibly powerful. This 450 watt 52 inch beam lights up like daylight at night. Even the back one, the 22 inch at the back, the throw is just incredibly powerful. So I hope you enjoyed that whistle stop tour of the aux beams that I have on this Destination Destiny.